Look at all this cool stuff we got to look at today. A lot of new things from Hot Wheels Greenlight. Got a little Matchbox thrown in. Really, really cool cars. A lot of my favorite cars are in this set of vehicles we're going to look at. So, very exciting stuff. We're going to start, we're going to probably go from the Jeep onward. So, take a look at this here Matchbox. I like it. It was a good looking casting. Um, and I think it's pretty good to 164th, maybe. Pretty close. It's got that good green, and just needs a little detailing, but this is how it comes out of the box. It's got a lot of the molding done good on the bumpers and everything, so I'm going to detail this. It'll look pretty good. Little Jeep. All the stuff's there, though. There's your base. So, it's got the nice wheels, too. Jeep does, Matchbox does these wheels. They're a little bit better than their old ones. So, very cool. Alright. Says Rubicon. Good stuff. Alright, so we're going to get on to the Hot Wheels. The set just came out. Finally came around these parts, so I picked them up. Didn't find the Monza yet. It's going to be difficult to find, I have a feeling, but I'll press on. I'll get it. But anyway, so we'll start with the Corvette. This is number 2 in the Silhouette series. Really awesome thing. This is based on an actual car. Chevrolet Corvette, upgraded by Greenwood. And this was pretty radical. C3 Corvette had basically subframes on the car added, tube chassis, branched off from the original frame to give it a more appropriate suspension. And it definitely had the horsepower. So it had a big block punched out to 467, all aluminum, fuel injected, 700 horsepower in this car. Rear end was changed to double wishbone suspension, and it handled great. It had a little not performance, but reliability issues. Rear ends, tires, a lot of things happened unfortunately to this car. A lot of bad luck, but did pole on a lot of racetracks. It raced internationally. They tried to do Sebring. They did Daytona in this car. They did Le Mans in this car. This car set a back straight record at Le Mans, 220 mile an hour, and that was 1976. So the aero helped, but so did the big block. Car sounded awesome. Did have those white side exit exhaust. You could see how the Greenwood really stretched out the body to fit the better suspension, bigger tire that they needed to stay competitive. And it was a good car, just it had some issues, but it did win some races. Cool car. The only thing about this Mancuso Chevrolet car, which by the way, that's a Chicago Chevrolet dealer. Car's awesome. It's got the mini light wheels, big and little, but they still looks pretty good. Great car. Flat white base. So it's painted base. It's really nice because these really were painted white. It was funny, the exhaust. So I love that way that looks. And then the stripe on this car, they terminated at the front on the Hot Wheels, but they really should go to the front and then come down here. So that's okay. I bet you can get a decal set for this maybe. Headlights are actually really good. The only reason they look a little funny is because there's no actual headlight behind there. It's just the cover. But they're accurate. And if you look at the cover close up, it does have the relief, because that basically where it has that, there you can see a little bit, should really be painted. Then the middle should be the cover. And basically if you take this car apart, you could probably put lights behind it, and it'll probably look a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, the rest of the car is perfect. So very, very nice car. Very excited to add it to the collection. Hopefully I find some more. So, man, Mancuso Chevrolet Greenwood Corvette. This is a 1976. Very nice car. Gonna go up in year. Going to go to a 78 car. It's 935 Longtail Porsche. Raced all over the world. Good car. Porsche, after this car, 79 I think or something, they kind of waited out factory sponsorship, direct factory cars after this one, because their rule changes were coming in the 80s. So last heavy duty effort by Porsche. The 1977, the car before this one, a little bit different aero, but the motor was completely air cooled. And they're having issues because they're pushing out a lot of horsepower. They're really upping the turbo capacity, so the heat, is getting into everything. So this car, they finally broke down, did a couple of big changes, so head failures, so they wanted to get a little bit more power, reliability. They went to water-cooled heads in 78, and they also did 4-valve heads. So this car was doing 750, 800 horsepower. 3.2 liter flat six, big turbo. Another cool fact about this, they were able to take advantage of some rule changes, or maybe not, some interpretation of the rules. So they were able to flip the transmission upside down, and that gave it a better drive line angle, because the drive shafts stick out of the transmission case on this car. It's a transaxle. So got a little bit better there, and that was also a little bit better for lowering the vehicle and give a little bit more clearance. And then they also flipped the headers on this car to go forward to get a little bit more clearance for exhaust and everything. So that was also cool. So they took advantage of a lot of stuff. This car was very fast. This car did 228 in 78, so 228 mile an hour on the back straight in Le Mans. Looked that one up too. So very fast car, and it was competitive. It had some issues too, but it was still an awesome car. Very, very famous car, nicknamed Moby Dick by some people. This has a PPG livery. Very, very well done. Very clean. Love this car. Love the blue wheels. All licensed livery. So really good stuff. That's one of the better views of the car. They really were trying back then to get this thing to move. I like this one because it has a painted black base. It has that old school treatment like they used to do when they had metal bases. And then in comparison, I have the Mamo car. So really pretty set so far. I don't have any of the earlier ones, but just good looking stuff. Love that roof stripe. Nice and good detail. The tampo work is a little sharper on these, so that looks good. Placement's nice. None of these are really off. Follows the body line. So very happy about this Porsche. Stands up well to the Mamo, which is another beauty. So there we go. 935 turbo. Real serious car. Now we're getting to some new castings by Hot Wheels, and if this is any indication what Hot Wheels wants to do going forward, we're probably in for some pretty incredible vehicles. This car has a lot of detail. This is a 911 RWB air-cooled car, body kit maker, aero treatment, wheels. They do packages to get this car looking unique. All of them are unique. You got to put your money into the car up front, and then to get the kit designed to what you prefer in terms of your style. They kind of consult you on that, and then you're able to craft a car of your choosing, basically. So this is one of those cars, Collaborated with Hot Wheels. Really good looking car. Probably has a bunch of horsepower. Has a 3-pipe exhaust, which is really cool. And I was thinking it was metal, but it's not. It's plastic. So that's kind of good and bad, because metal, sometimes it breaks if the car falls. So kind of like that, it's plastic. Looks good. Another achievement is that rear wing. That's all die cast. And so it's pretty crazy. I love how they even paid attention to doing the window riveting and all that stuff. It's like a nice satin black paint. So, and then the debut of these dished wheels are these are awesome. I mean, these cars, hopefully they do these wheels more, because everybody's going to want those. So, beautiful car. Beautiful, beautiful car. Very nice to add the Porsche collection I have. You could see the bumpers are perfect. The stance is good. It rolls perfect. You could see, I'm going to flip it over. Look how close the wheels are to the chassis. So it's just really good attention to detail. Flip this around. You can see the base. They do it like a gunmetal paint, so I love that. There's your engine detail. So brand new casting from Hot Wheels. Tampo work is excellent. Look at they do the taillights. So this is just a stunning car. You can leave it up to your imagination what you'd think the horsepower would be or what suspension is, but great car. I love that Porsche. Another really awesome car, R30 Skyline Silhouette series race car. Look at this thing. Amazing. I really, really wish I could see one of these in live action. YouTube videos, these things are nuts. Seeing them run. But real popular cult car, race car. It started some of the customizing craze, these silhouette cars in Japan, where, you know, they extend the front splitter and everything goes bonkers with the body kits. But this wasn't, what they were trying to do to get these cars to go around a racetrack. Loosely based on a production car. It's kind of like a Japanese stock car racing or touring car championship. They use these two-door cars. So Nissan was in a fierce battle with Toyota back then. This is basically 1982 when this car debuted. And Nissan had an older school motor. It's a 4-cylinder single cam. And a lot of the other guys were using twin cam heads. So they developed a twin cam head for this vehicle, 2.1 liter 4-cylinder, and they put enormous turbo on it. And she was competitive. Won a few races. Just a cool car. R30 Skyline. This one is completely different than the main line. Doesn't share any similarities. We'll look at that in a second. Again, the big wheels. This is number 5 in the Silhouette series. This one's awesome. I love this. This part right here is actually the base. It's part of the base. It comes all the way up where my finger is, and then it comes up here. They just tampo that. So they're able to leave the black on the inside like it's ducting. That was kind of slick. Tampo work is really good. I love how the windshield has the skyline done very finely. Just really good looking. They got the shade of red perfect. Another 700 horsepower car, something like, or 560. Yeah, I think this is a 500. It's like a 500 horsepower car, real lightweight. You know, they tube chassis basically. Look at that. The whole back end is different. And in comparison, it seems a little larger, but the mainline car, if you look at it, I mean, it's wider, definitely. If you look at the top, it's definitely wider. Let's do that. So, but I thought it was cool that you get the same color scheme. These wheels are great. What a cool car. So very happy about that Nissan. That's gonna look good with all the other race cars. Love those. Good looking set, right? What more to say? We'll go over it real quick. So I love this stuff too. Been taking them out with a blade. Look at that card art. So cool. And there's a set. And of course, they change the color of all the cards. All the cards have their own color. This one's green. Greenwood. Very fitting. And here's the Porsche. Good looking stuff. There's the back. Same back. I love it. Got the Porsche. And then another Porsche. Number 4. Look how cool that looks. It's just good stuff. Thank you, Hot Wheels, for brightening my day all the time. The silhouette's really cool. Look at that. That's neat. 5 out of 5. So if they're that technical, basically they're trying to upscale mainline process with these cars, but when you look at them, they're getting good. They really are. There's almost nothing you can't do. The world is open. So anyway, good stuff. So now we're going to go on to more of my favorites. These are more of stuff I've been collecting forever. It's the Greenlights. I love them. So anyway, carrying my NYPD cars out now is I think this is an 88 car. So this is when the Crown Victoria had this bumper or this front end on it from about 88 to 91 when this car is discontinued, unfortunately. So Country Squire car in the NYPD, they did use a car like this, and it did have the full wheel covers on it. So they kind of patterned this replica off that vehicle. The only thing that was kind of wrong about it is they don't necessarily have this light bar in the middle there. They had it on these wagons right in the middle of the roof line over the front doors, but I believe they did have the roof rack still. And this car would do whatever for the police department. Lots of different duties for wagons, especially in a big metro like city of New York. Great front end on this Crown Vic. It really, really makes me wish they would do a 4-door version, because the body is perfect, the front end is perfect. If they would just do the 4-door of this car, everybody would be happy, I think. But right now we got the wagons, and I had no problem with them. I had to take this car out, the wheels off, because they were all crooked. I made new axles for it, and then trued up the wheels, so now they're sitting like they should. But the wheel covers are great. They did the Crown Victoria wheel cover perfectly, pretty much, for this scale. So good stuff. Hopefully they do. If they did a 4-door, they do the dog dish wheels, which should be very nice. Tailgate does operate, but not very well. There's some flashing in there or something that's preventing it from fully coming down. So operates the same as the other. Delete the hitch, because they've been putting hitches on all of them, but they took it off on this one. And it's got good markings on it, so it's a great car. Black interior. Really, the thing I really wanted to look at on this car when I got it was the front end, and they did the front end good, so very happy about that. And it is different than even the Grand Marquis, which was another late car to the front end, so it's even longer a little bit on the Mercury. So love it. Country Squire car, LTD. Police, love it. And you know what? I think they had a heavy package for that. I don't know if they had a P71 on the wagon. I don't remember. I don't think it did. Another exciting one. It's kind of like a newer casting, newish, pretty new casting. Hasn't seen wide release until now, pretty much. It's basically this truck. It's a 77 Ford F-100 by Greenlight. Nice looking truck. It's got some cool wheels on it. And actually, these wheels almost look like they could double for Crown Victoria wheels that I'm asking for. But anyway, I love this truck. The casting on it is very good. They did the cab nicely. They didn't ruin the roof line or how the doors are or how big the window is, which is a problem on these trucks if you see guys doing it in scale. So the cap is removable. This is Blue Collar series, new release from Greenlight. I think it's series 4 or series 5, excuse me, Blue Collar. So this just came out. Really looks like a scaled down version of a 1/18 scale truck. It's good looking stuff. Yep. So two-tone truck with the white and yellow. It says F-100 on the front, which is really good, sharp. Yeah. So you can see there's holes in the bed, like a stake bed. But the cap is neat too. So it's all clear plastic that they paint where they need to paint it. Comes right off. It just kind of sits there on those tabs. But good looking stuff. It's got the mold lines up there for how it goes together. It's just neat. Very period correct looking. And then the bed is nice and deep, and they got good detail there too. Non-functioning tailgate. You can see it's got the rear slider. So, nice truck. This F-100 custom. So, you probably have a nice V8 in this. A two-wheel drive truck. They do have provisions for the future, of course, where they have the holes drilled for the suspension. Right there. So, definitely easy to lift this. This is probably going to get lifted because I'm going to get more of these. So, I'm going to lift this one. Put it on those rims. And away we go. So, yeah, nice Ford. Fits in with my 70s stuff. I love it. Very, very nice truck. Just probably be in the background for a lot of my shoots. Alright, so next we got a beautiful van. This is a 78 GMC VanDura van. I think it's a VanDura 20, so I think it's that. So anyway, they did change the grille, headlights, and some of the tampos. So it is basically like the 18 casting, but it doesn't have any holes drilled in the roof either. So I like that. It does have the body kit, but they changed the front emblem. Let's see here. Gotta try to get the focus real better. Let's see if we can get that to go. Get it closer here. Something like that. Well, anyway, you can see the grill. There's some flashing on the bottom of the grill, so when they put it on, it made it a little crooked. It sticks out on the bottom, but that can be fixed. But it does have a really good look to it. Chrome bumpers instead of painted. So makes it look more stock, which I like. And I just like the stripes. Even though it's brown, I think it's cool looking. Let's see if we can get the focus. There we go. And the wheels could use a little bit of a black wash, but I can take care of that. But this is how it comes out of the package. Real nice paint. Brown. Smooth. It's smooth brown. It just kind of reminds me of that 70s. It does have the 18 base basically with the zoomies and all that. So it's supposed to kind of represent that custom look. It's cool looking. It's good. The stripe goes to the back. Got GMC over it on the bottom of the door where it's supposed to be. No license plates or anything. This is the Hobby Shop Series 4, I believe. And it comes with the little gas pump. So it's got that. Here, hold on. Let's see if we can get this here to come up. There you go. Matching color, green or orange. So there's our little van with its gas pump. Probably needs to carry that around because it doesn't get very good gas mileage. You know, 4-barrel carb on a 350. But good looking van. I'd drive that around. Good looking thing. Alright, so there's that van. It's pretty much all we got for today. Good looking stuff. Hot Wheels are really starting to crank them out. They're really starting to come out good. There's a lot of new stuff. Fast and Furious is coming out next wave, so that'll be cool. And we'll look at that Pontiac there in the background. That's a little 73 GTO. Look at that next time. So yeah, great cars. More to come. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time.